What's good, YouTube? It's your boy DJ LiftOFF with the JP way, and you don't want to miss this life. Today, we're going to be learning a 1-bar scratch pattern that's really going to focus on improving your chirp scratch, your hand control, and your hand speed. On top of that, we're pretty much going to be doing a practice routine that's going to take you through the entire scratch pattern so you can learn it really slowly, okay? So, without further ado, let's get it started. All right, DJs. The scratch pattern that we're going to end up learning by the end of this video is going to be 1 bar, and it's going to look just like this. Okay, so one more time, a little bit slower. 1 bar, just like this. Now, the reason why I say this scratch pattern is really going to progress your chirp scratch is because it's going to require a lot of hand control where you're going to be moving your hand at different speeds pretty quickly. So as you can see, based on how I did it, we pretty much have a fast chirp where we're going up very far. Then we have a midway chirp where we're not going as far, kind of like a midway point. And then we have a slower chirp where we're going to make the slowest sound and only move our hand a little bit forward. So that alone is very difficult to do if you're really new to doing it. So therefore, we're going to actually practice with baby scratches first. And I'm going to show you pretty much how to start from the beginning and progress your way up through this particular scratch practice routine. So before we actually start the scratch practice routine to learn this pattern, first, I want you to understand that we're going to go ahead and load up our Serato scratch sentence, which you can download in the description. First thing you're going to do is you're going to line up your platter so it's right at the beginning of the sound right here. Then you're going to go ahead and take your hand, whichever hand you're doing it with on whichever platter, doesn't really matter, whichever one you're more comfortable with. You're going to go ahead and line this platter up with the beginning of the sound. Then you're going to place your hand wherever you're most comfortable. So if you've seen my other video, I've talked about the 9 o'clock position, the 8 o'clock position, and the 10 o'clock position. So I'm most comfortable right at this 9. So I'm going to, like I said, place my platter right here at the beginning of the sound and place my hand right on this 9 o'clock. Then I'm just going to pull back just a little bit. And then the chirp scratch looks just like this. All we're essentially doing is we're pushing the platter forward and cutting the sound out by closing the crossfader. And then we're pulling back on the platter and opening the crossfader to create that chirp sound. So before we actually start using the chirp scratch to practice this routine, we're going to start with the baby scratch because it's really going to help you understand the hand movements as far as going fast, medium, and then slow. But if you do feel like you're already comfortable with that and your hand speed is pretty good and your hand control is pretty good, you can go ahead and move on to the actual chirp scratch part of the routine. So to start this practice with baby scratches, this is essentially what we're going to do. So as you can see here, I'm going very far up here, then I'm coming back, then I'm going about midway, coming back, and then I have a very slow scratch, baby scratch at the end. So essentially, just really get comfortable with doing it just like this. And do this as many times as you need until you're super comfortable. Then once you're comfortable doing that, then we're just going to speed it up just a little bit to where you have it like this. And then we can even introduce a song as well. I'm going to make sure this is really slow. I'm going to go at a 79 BPM, and then we're going to practice this with the song. A little bit faster. And then as soon as we're comfortable with doing that, then we're actually gonna do it twice, just like this. So let's go ahead and practice that with the song as well. So once you're comfortable with that, you can go ahead and finish the entire scratch routine, which is gonna sound just like this. Okay, so essentially you have fast, medium, slow, fast, medium, slow, fast. Then you can either do medium or slow, whichever one is comfortable, most comfortable with you. And then you're gonna go ahead and drop. So again, that's fast, medium, slow, fast, medium, slow, fast, and then drop. Fast, medium or slow, and then drop. Now you're gonna actually introduce the chirp scratch, and you're gonna follow that same exact practice routine. So if you did jump ahead, we actually did this with the baby scratch first, but now we're at the chirp scratch. So we're gonna practice it the exact same way, starting off with doing this. Once you're comfortable with that, you can go on to the next step, which is going a little bit faster. Then you're going to continue that, but just do it twice. So once you're comfortable with that, now you're ready for the full scratch pattern, which looks just like this. That's again gonna equal 1 bar. We have fast, medium, slow, fast, medium, slow, fast, and then medium or slow, whichever one you're more comfortable with, and then you're gonna drop your track. So now the same way we practice the baby scratch, we're gonna practice this with the song as well, starting off with the very slow chirp scratches. So again, there is your full scratch pattern that I just did at the end. So that's how you can literally practice by starting slow and gradually work your way up. Do not try to rush this. Definitely take your time. I just went through this extremely quickly, but definitely take your time and go each step at a time. So once you're comfortable with doing it at that speed, then you can start moving it up to a faster speed and practicing it again.
Stop, baby, when we gon' slide.